I guess we'll call to order at 6:05 PM.
I second.
Go ahead and do the audience participation one. If anyone in the audience wishes to address the board on any item listed on the agenda, please fill out one of the audience participation forms located by the east door of the council room. After the form is completed, please hand it to board secretary. Your request to speak will be given to the chairman, and you will be called upon to speak when that item is discussed. We have no. Then we have the minutes from our last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to take a look at those?
Yeah.
Would anybody like to make a motion to approve those?
I make a motion to approve.
I second.
Am I supposed to get a little doodad to approve?
Yes, you're supposed to get a voting on your screen. If you don't, let me know, and I'll just take every.
Oh, there, it's on the other little tab. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, all approved. Fabulous. The next item is a discussion of action regarding the 2025 holiday decorations.
Correct. So for our new members, as context, each holiday season, the city facilities, as well as the community center over there by William Houston Park and Willow Creek Park get decorated with Christmas decor. We did the bidding process to abide by the purchasing policy, which is just get a minimum of 3 bids to see what would be the lowest bid in terms of those services. The scope of work attached on your packet was the one sent to every provider to get a quote, including the one that we've used in the last few years, First Choice Lights. That scope of work would include all the facilities in this corridor except the fire station. The tree that used to go in the back of City Hall, that is 14 feet tall, will go on the recreation center. Since this year, Knowles is open and the switchyard expansion is completed, the big tree is back to that position to be included on the Christmas parade. The Christmas parade normally ends where the switchyard is, and then they do the Christmas tree lighting. So that's something that we get to contribute with in special events. And they're also decorating the additional library, which they hadn't last year. So those are the changes from last year's scope of work for Christmas decoration. I've also attached the roadmap of Willow Creek Park for you guys to see what exactly is included on the scope of work too, for those things that don't have specific addresses. And as you can see on your attachments, the lowest bid that we received was from the provider that we've already used in the past, First Choice Lights, for $42,001.25. When the 2025-2026 budget was approved, or like the recommendation to approval was passed through the board, $39,000 had been allocated to Christmas decor. Based on what we had spent last year, we added like about 3% of estimated inflation. I think adding the new library, which we're not covering all of it, but also some inflation and tariffs tariffs from what every vendor told me increased their prices more than expected. So I'm bringing this forward to give you a report what we're doing, but also to get a motion to recommend the allocation of extra funds from the unallocated funds for the budget. So we're requesting an increase of $3,000 with $1.25 to meet the cost of the lowest bid.
Is the city still going to do, because I know they put some over at the garden, and then they put some like in Highland Station, they put the little 12 Days of Christmas. Does the city do that too?
Yes,
Or is
yeah.
that, okay.
Yeah, so KSB does this, and then the city does the rest
The
of
little-
Christmas lightings and Highland Station and other little.
The little,
It's really just strong lighting, not the.
Yes, for the most part, yeah.
the
the
stuff
poles.
that requires
Right.
equipment to get it up and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the trees are ours. They were bought out, so they're being stored by First Choice Lights. This year, for time purposes, we went for the bidding, but something that the board can consider for next year, if you guys want to enter maybe a multi-year contract with a vendor, to see if that possibly would lower down the cost and maybe see what else is out there. The other quotes that were submitted were great. Theirs were just a little higher because they would be storing pre-owned equipment, whereas First Choice Lights, it's already storing the trees that we bought out from them and supplies and things like that. But if we wanted to do a multi-year contract, we'll just need to post a request for purchase and go through all that jazz to enter that. That will,
Yeah, we probably ought to look at that next year.
Mhm.
But I don't see any problem with, I figure with adding the new building, I'm not surprised that it went up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say, if they move that the community, the people down by the Chamber of Commerce next year?
Well, that would all depend as to whether or not the city has enough funding to renew the old library. To my understanding, the plans would be to transition us at Public Works and over there to this facility because it would be nicer and newer than where we're at right now. But it's probably going to be postponed until there's available funds for that.
It's really, who knows?
Yeah, so we're going to stay there for a couple more years probably.
Oh, no.
No,
I thought that was a done deal.
me too.
Well, I think, yeah. I mean, we have the funds because we haven't done any art this year and the fiscal year's almost up, so I don't see any problem with it unless you guys,
No, it's a nominal amount. It's
I mean, yeah,
barely over the
considering.
budget, yeah, considering what the other ones were, you know.
Really,
Yep.
it's such a big difference.
Does anybody have any questions, any other questions or concerns? Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the additional funds to come out of the art budget, I guess?
Am I supposed to say?
You make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the amount proposed for $3,001.25 to come from our budget.
I second.
Got a little vote up?
I like Christmas lights.
I like the Christmas
too.
lights. All right.
Had no idea it was that expensive.
All right, so the next item is a discussion regarding the mowing of Saginaw Boulevard and Blue Mound. I like your explanation, Louisa. I know we were,
Yeah, I know
mean,
that whenever the,
I kind of understood, but
yes,
that helped, I mean, understanding that,
Text up.
I think so many people don't realize that TxDOT owns those roads, and we have such a hard time, and honestly, I live over by Blue Mound, and when those ditches on the Highland Station side of Blue Mound get,
It's awful.
you can't even see to turn out on the roads there.
It's awful.
You know, even if there's a light, it's hard in a couple of those places to see around that, so it's really, yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
of course, I'm glad that this was useful. So, since whenever the first questions came up, I did a little bit of digging because I was at first not sure of exactly when that initiative started. So I looked through our financial records, talked to Randy Newsom, who at the time was not the Public Works Director yet, but was one of the staff members that helped. Karen Cromwell, I believe, was the liaison at the time, and board members. So to clarify, TxDOT does mow the roads, but this is like twice a year, about 3 times a year. As you know, mowing is very unpredictable. Some years it rains a lot, some others it really doesn't. So at the time, the board really wanted to be involved in some way because those corridors, people don't know they're TxDOT owned, so they reflect negatively on us as a city. So they inquire if they could contract out these services for mowing, reached out to TxDOT to come to an agreement to get their authorization to mow their property, because it doesn't seem like it would be a possibility to have them mowed more often by Texas Department of Transportation. Now, that has been an initiative since 2009. I know that there were some questions about possibly exploring other alternatives that the board now, that the 2009 initiative, sees more fitting to the goals of Keep Saginaw Beautiful. But I did want to first give you context as to what is being paid for by the board and the city. So the city maintains everything that's city property. The board just contributes to the right-of-ways of Blue Man Road and Saginaw Boulevard. And as you know, on August, the 2025-2026 budget was formally approved by City Council. Whenever we're working on budget preparation, each department has to estimate how much more they're going to spend for those line items. And so a request was submitted for what was expected at the time to be mowing. And if the board were to decide to cease funding for mowing of those two roads, the right-of-way of those two roads, we would need to consider the fact that we'll need to also request for City Council to approve amending the mowing budget that comes out of the general budget of the city, for them to possibly eat the cost and continue to mow those two roads in their right-of-ways. The other thing to consider too is what would possibly be the alternative for the funds, because our recommendation will be strongest too if the board can make that recommendation to City Council, let them know that we're interested in ceasing funding for this project and exploring other alternatives. What would those other alternatives or projects be for the board if it's not funding? So like I said, we could, at this moment, I'm not sure if the city can eat the cost of mowing Blue Mountain Road and Saginaw Boulevard, their right-of-ways, but that would be something that we'll need to account for in budget preparation. So if this is something that you guys want to work through this fiscal year, like start exploring what we're going to use these funds for instead, if it's not mowing, and maybe another project or initiative of the board, it'll be best to give this time to also reach out to Public Works that pays for the mowing services, see if they will be able to eat the cost. I know that it was a tight year for budgeting. Some services, fund services for the city had to be cut down. So I can't tell you right now, yes or no, whether or not City Council would approve that amendment in this fiscal year, but those are things to consider. So I'm not sure if you guys have something in mind already. Maybe this can be a starting discussion of possible alternatives, and we can continue to have items on this project for you guys to come up with alternatives if you do not wish to continue with this beautification initiative that was started back in 2009.
Well, I know when I started the committee and saw that at first, I thought it was just crazy because I thought city, but then learning all that stuff about it and I work with TxDOT a lot. Their priority is not beautification. It's not their priority is not the potholes either. So I mean,
definitely not.
you know, when their priority isn't the actual road, it's certainly not the side of the road. And really, so many people do negatively. I mean, it's Saginaw Main Street, and they don't understand why it doesn't look pretty when TxDOT doesn't take care of it. And there is nothing the city can do to get TxDOT to do it if they don't want to. So my personal opinion is I think we have the money for it. You know, we do get budgeted for it. And secondly, no, we don't know, but I know council, and they're not going to approve that change this year, even if we wanted to. So they don't have the money for it. They don't have the money for it, and I mean, and we don't have any active alternate ideas to make that change.
And I have self-interest because I live off of Bailey Boswell and I'm on that road a lot. It is ugly when that grass grows.
Yeah,
So I had no idea it was this whole thing with TxDOT.
yeah.
I mean, all these roads that TxDOT manages, which, you know, it's like it affects the property values and it affects how you feel.
And it's a hard time, and I'll see people commenting on Facebook, and I'm like, city can't do anything about it. You got to call TxDOT. This is not their road. They can't do anything. You know, they're not allowed. So
Those homeowners should go out there and mow that lawn, but they obviously can't either because it's not their land.
no, and they can get in trouble too.
Yeah,
So,
like, you know.
but So I think just letting it roll, and if we come up with some ideas next year, it'd be something to discuss before budget, but,
I think what's hard is that you can see that that side of Blue Mound is mowed and the Fort Worth side is never mowed. It's really hard.
mm-hmm,
So-
yeah, and that is hard, but
But
I'm not up for paying for
I'm not
that side of the
either.
road to be mowed either.
I just go, look at us, we're nice.
Yeah, so, that's my 2 cents. I mean, y'all have any?
Yeah. I mean,
Questions,
it has to be
concerns?
mowed, it's, twice a year is not enough.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it just did it actually. So- And it doesn't help with that development on the corner that they never mow their lawn, you know, the weeds and stuff growing on that vacant lot, so.
Yeah. So, and that's outside of our jurisdiction
it
too,
is.
so not much that can be done there.
No.
I called-
Do we need to make a motion just to let it go, or what?
No,
is our-
it was just a discussion item, since, you know,
We had asked about
I
it
wanted to
last-
give you guys some more detailed report of how this initiative started, and give you the opportunity to maybe start a discussion about it. So I'll note it on the minutes.
Maybe-
What the general feedback was, and
Bring up any new ideas, maybe in the spring.
For sure.
So it can be discussed, but, I mean, unless we have some active ideas for new,
But having this history was great, so thank you, really, thank you.
that really, yeah, helped a lot there, so. Okay, so are we good to move on then to C?
Yes, ma'am, when you're ready.
Discussion and action regarding the Yard of the Month program structure. So we're going to discuss the structure before we vote on yards. Is that?
Yes. Give me 1 second, let me pull it up really quick.
But I'm loving this.
Oh, that,
Did you
already
do that?
received- Yes,
Did-
we've already received 4 nominations, so
It looks
it
great.
seems like it's going to be a popular contest. But regarding that, for our new members, we've made a lot of changes to like the awarding structure and stuff throughout this year to try to come up with a system that, that makes sense for the board and what they see this program being as in the future. Currently, with what has been approved recently, to clarify, the guidelines can always be changed if the board wishes to. We'll just have to go through making a formal motion to change those guidelines. We had narrowed down to have only a maximum of 2 yards be recognized each month so that we can best estimate what our expenses will be throughout the year. And we've allocated $60 per gift card, which is one of the included awards that people receive, so that we account for activation fees whenever those are purchased. Nominations are due by the 15th. If it falls kind of mid the week and I have a chance to attach it to y'all's packet or print it out before I come to the meeting, they just get considered on that month. If not, they get carried over the following month. Because we do have the October contest coming up for it, Halloween decoration contest, and then holiday seasons, I wanted to bring up some, I guess, not conflicts of schedule, but things to consider for you guys to decide whether or not you will like to keep the same structure for the contest, or if you'd like to change anything. The 4th Monday of December falls during Christmas week. That'll be December 22nd. Very likely, we won't be able to meet because people are gonna be out for holiday, likely including myself. And we'll need to also send out the certificates, have them signed by our mayor, because that's right now what we're doing. I issue the certificates, have them signed by the mayor, normally in a city council meeting. Those occurred first Tuesday and third Tuesday of the month. So the next city council meeting from December 22nd will be January 6th, because they do normally sometimes take a city council meeting off, or they do them earlier. And winners wouldn't be able to receive their full awards, including the yard signs, until after that date. Because I have to get the certificates, get them signed, get their gift card, get their signs printed if I don't already have them, and just reach out to the owners. So it normally takes about a week of business days to get those things issued, depending on when the mayor's able to come in and sign those. So to better align with the yearly schedule and ensure that we're able to give out the awards to people in a timely manner, I was bringing forward these considerations for you guys to keep in mind. So one recommendation would be to shorten the ER of the Month contest to run from April through October, and we can possibly award more winners for the month of October for the Halloween decorations to ensure that we have sufficient time for each month to review all entries and send out the awards without delays and not have to worry about a holiday conflicting schedule for the meetings, because our fourth meeting for November is also going to be likely conflicting with Thanksgiving week. So we'll have to do either no meeting that month and combine the December and the November meeting, or do a special call meeting at a different date. The other recommendation, if the first one doesn't sound as appealing to what you guys want for the board or for the program, would be to combine November and December into a general like holiday yard decorating contest, where entries could be accepted from November 7th to December 7th-ish, with the board meeting on or before Monday, December 15th, to select the winners. That gives me a week before everyone starts leaving for holidays to try to get those certificates signed and awards distributed. And then the third option is just to adjust the program schedule to start in March and conclude in October. So the difference from that one and the first one would be, both are proposing to end the contest in October, maybe have more winners in October, but this last one is wanting to potentially extend it to March if you guys want to have more months of the warmer part of the year for people to submit nominations. But this is just a time I'll let you guys discuss. If maybe there's a different alternative you want to consider, if there's any of these recommendations that you would like to pursue, if you have any questions, or if you want to keep the contest structure the same. If it remains the same, then there will be submissions for October, and then a November Yar of the Month regular contest, and maybe just a December one. But
I mean, I like the idea of combining November and December just to having one holiday.
Yeah,
But I don't have, there's nothing that I want to hang my hat on any of it, so what do you guys think?
I like the second one too, because a lot of people really like decorating for,
Mhm.
Christmas and whatnot, and I think to eliminate that month.
Yeah,
It's
just
kind
make
of a
it
big deal. People are like, Halloween and Christmas are the two biggest decorating
and
holidays.
I don't see any reason to start earlier. I think we kind of eliminated January, February, March just because of weather and all that good stuff anyway. But if we do in the October for the Halloween one, and then just do a combined one for November and December, and try to find some time to meet early in December to vote on that.
Yeah, I like the
And
second.
combining November and December meeting anyway, just because of the holidays,
Yeah.
it'd be easier on everybody, I think.
Mhm.
But I think when we did this too, we were meeting at the beginning of the month and not the end of the month, so that wasn't,
Yes.
yeah. I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that when we moved the meetings.
so if we wanted to make it, we could meet on the 15th, and I would just need to post the agenda and pack it on the 8th. Or we can meet December 8th, and that allows us to have, if city council does end up meeting on the 16th, that leaves us the 16th to get mayor's signatures and on the certificates and, account for everything, just in case. But 8th or the 15th, unless you guys wanted to meet December 1st and just have November as the entry month for all of these nominations. I know most people put their lights up
Like over Thanksgiving
over
weekend.
Thanksgiving for
Yeah.
for
I mean,
holidays. So it would probably,
I'm good for the 8th or the 15th either, so.
Okay.
To give them that extra little bit to get them submitted
Yeah.
and stuff, that's more. And I'll be sure to share the Halloween and the stuff on all the community pages and stuff.
I shared the Halloween one also on my.
That was on your
Little
email,
Vista.
wasn't it? Yeah, so I can get it from that. So I think that So our discussion was that we liked combining November, December, but we would still stay from March to October, or not Mar, April to October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to
I
make?
mean, nothing's in bloom in March.
Really, it's not yet. No, there's nothing really. I mean, some of the yards are still pretty because some people actually can manage to get things to grow, but
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
I am not one of
picture of
them.
your house with brown grass.
I know, right? So, does anybody want to make a motion for that change?
Do we all make a motion for number 2, the second recommendation? The March through October and the November, December combination?
I think she's got that.
Okay. I'm making a motion for it.
I second it.
Okay.
It'll be the second one to combine the month of November and December, or
Yeah.
a holiday decoration.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Start in April, combine the holidays.
Awesome. All right, so our next item will be a discussion and action regarding the Yard of the Month nominations for September. It looks like we had 3. Because I forgot to send the pictures of the one that I found, but I'll get it in for next month. Or no, that'll be Halloween, so no.
Maybe they'll decorate.
It'll wait. I just take random pictures when I'm walking and go, oh, that yard's pretty. So, looks like they're all 3 in different areas, so.
Yeah. Are we sticking with the two nominations?
Yes. Yes. Unless anybody sees anything that they. They're all so pretty. I'm so jealous of all of them.
I know which 2 I like.
Which 2 do you like?
I like 2 and 3.
I like 1. It's the old-fashioned part of Saginaw.
I like the fountain and the arch. I like 1 and 2.
I thought the hard choice for me was between 2 and 3.
I don't like too busy of a front yard. I guess that's why I don't like number 1. It's too busy for me.
And then I was gonna say, guys, sorry, I've been forgetting to remind you, but if I could get you to speak a little bit closer to the mic, just because sometimes it's a little hard for me to pick up on what everyone said when I'm watching the meeting recordings.
And then maybe it's just because I'm on the HOA
Pamela,
board.
I think yours is not on. Yep, there you go.
It could be because I'm on the HOA board, but I don't like a busy front yard.
Yeah, I'm not in an HOA. Y'all would vote me out. All right, well,
So where are we?
we're waiting to hear your 2 favorites.
E- 1 and, I can't tell I don't care between 2 and 3, but I definitely like, and I'll tell you why. So I do Meals on Wheels a lot. I know this neighborhood. It's a hardscrabble neighborhood, and for somebody to maintain their house and keep it up, it's just like, I just really feel like they've done a good job on doing it. It's really the old-fashioned, the oldest neighborhood in Saginaw. So, you can tell they paint their metal fence. They've managed to put in a really nice stonework all the way along. So I like that. The house didn't come with that. When I look at these, our houses came with a lot of stuff.
That is true.
I know 3 didn't because that's my neighborhood, and I know they're only put 2 trees in each yard. So none of that was there except for the exception of the 1 tree.
This is beautiful,
they
actually,
pictured,
really
yeah.
like 3 more.
So I know for a fact that it didn't come that way.
'Cause I really love gardening, and the selection of trees in this yard is just really, I have shrub envy.
But I'm only one vote, so not gonna sway anyone else's
So I
vote.
do 1 and 3. That's
I
my-
do 2 and 3.
And I do 1 and 3.
In that case, once someone's ready to make a motion, a motion's made. If someone seconds that, and the last person approves to say no, you still have to discuss and come to an agreement because our quorum is so small. It will probably not be an issue if we had more people here. So you can move forward with the motion and, possibly have someone say no if there's disagreement on the nominations, or you can discuss a little more and
I mean, I could.
consider all the basis
we
of
can
the judging
discuss- We can
criteria.
discuss a little bit more. I mean,
Yeah.
Could
I-
we do all 3?
We can't. I mean, we could, but she said only 2.
Like I
I mean, they're in
said,
three
the
separate
awarding
areas.
structure is always up to the board, but we would have to have like a formal motion and an item that is intended for restructuring the structure of the program. This is just because in the past, we've had it where we were talking about these and a motion was made, and then our city secretary advised for us to repeat that motion in another meeting where we have the item being intended for that. And that's just following regulations for Open Meetings Act, where if the item's called, selecting a winner for the month of September, you
Right.
likely don't want to include a motion that changes a program structure if the item was just
Got it.
intended to select a winner.
Well, we
I
can
could-
always
I-
just choose one.
I could say
We don't-
1 and, I could say 1 and 3. I mean, I appreciate what you said about the older section.
Yeah.
And none of this was there. They put a lot of work into it. Might not be my cup of tea, but I can appreciate it was a lot of work.
Right. I mean, I
So-
would never do this.
No.
Well,
But
no.
I can appreciate all the work that went into it.
I know,
So I guess I'll go with 1 and 3.
Okay. Would somebody want to make a
And
motion?
make a motion for 1 and 3 to be the yards of the month.
Can you second things? No, Oh, okay. I second that motion that we do 1 and 3.
It's not at this meeting since she's acting chairman, but normally she can.
Uh-oh.
Say that
Oh,
again.
okay.
Since she's acting chairman, actually, I correct myself, you can second.
Oh, I can
You just
second?
can't initiate a motion.
I can't initiate the motion.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Like I
Okay.
said, it might not be what I would do, but I can understand all the hard work that went into it.
Oh,
And I did appreciate what you said about being in the older section of town.
We are all
I think
yes,
it's
right?
like the first time we've ever actually gotten somebody from that area,
no.
from Area 1,
Yeah.
in our 3 months that we've been together.
Next item is the discussion regarding the Adopt-a-Spot program.
So I know during our last meeting, we have talked about going through another report because these change often depending on the adoptions that I have out or submitted by residents. So I wanted to give our new members context as to the general guidelines of the Adopt-a-Spot program currently. Like I said, if you guys ever wish to change the structure of a program, you just let me know and I'll include an action item on our agenda. I've also included a list of the current available spots and the ones that are adopted. Opal and Bryan are currently closed due to park renovations. There has been delay on that. We were initially hoping for them to be open by end of August, but it would likely be closer to the end of the year. There were 2 planter boxes at those locations, and they would be reinstalled once the park renovations are complete.
Which ones?
Opal, Joe Jennings.
Can you give me a number?
Yeah, it would be number 5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Yes,
The red ones.
uh-huh.
Got it.
And then, as you guys notice on that map, there's none to the east of the city. Our Public Works Director and Superintendent have talked about adding a planter box on Sagewood Park. It's a small park, a little south to Highland Station, that by building a small planter box that could be out adopted as a possible location. And then they also have informed me that William Houston Memorial Park is just needing repairs to the irrigation system on that planter box. So that will be added. And there is a gazebo in South Willow Creek Park that has planter boxes around it. Right now, they're looking into the costs of having irrigation systems built into that, so that that's another location that we can adopt out for people to beautify the planter boxes that surround that gazebo on the south side of Willow Creek Park. Every other one has been adopted. Some of them are recurrent adoptees. And another one that's new that we received this month was the marquee sign, that's spot number 3. That was adopted by one of our residents. And since Thursday, I'm not sure if maybe one of our members sent out the flyers. We did also post it in our quarterly newsletter or monthly newsletter, but I've received 4 new applications. Most people inquire to adopt a whole park, but currently through our park guidelines, parks are not included, right? We have an entryway sign, a flower bed at a city facility or public area, or a monumental sign, because those are smaller areas that individuals can contribute to in a meaningful way. So we have a dedicated parks maintenance staff member on our crews that does the trash pickup. We pay the contractor to do the mowing of our parks. They do maintenance of the dog parks as well, our crews. So if we were to adopt out parks or things like that, if you guys wanted to expand it to those things, you'll just have to keep in mind that we'll likely just be maybe paying for the sign to be installed, but people wouldn't really be able to do much more since it's already being taken care of by staff, right? They can possibly go and pick up trash that they run into that gets missed or gets thrown in between cleaning cycles, but that's one of the reasons the guidelines for adoptions or eligible spots was narrowed down to planter boxes, monumental signs, things that are compact and that people can customize. Some people adopted out and they plant flowers. The guy that adopted the marquee sign, he told us he's gonna be doing mowing of inside the planter box and like general area to keep it clear for drivers to see it. So I wanted to give you context of these, give you an update. I've already offered everyone that submitted an application throughout the week the available spots that we have. One person did tell me that they would wait for Opal to reopen to start their adoption. So that person has for sure said yes. Everyone else, I'm hoping that they'll be interested on the flower bed that we have in front of the recreation center, or the Welcome to Saginaw entryway sign that's on the right side of Saginaw Boulevard. But they do also have the option to wait for William Houston to open or Bryan Park to open. I'll just update you in our next update, let you know if anyone did end up adopting one of the available spots.
Excellent.
So you're saying the recreation,
It's still available. I've offered it to the 4 applicants that I received in the last week and over the weekend, and I'm waiting right now to see if people are gonna wanna take it.
I was gonna do that, apply
But-
to do that.
I can always let you guys know if they end up not adopting it at all,
Yep.
and you can adopt it from there if you wish to. And then also, I don't know if you guys would want to discuss it right now. This is not an action item. I know that we do not have a full board right now, but we just wanted to let you know those are things to consider when changing the program. Some cities do adopt a street or adopt a section of a park or adopt a mile. Those are normally bigger cities that have a nonprofit designated to their beautification board, so there's more people on board to assist. And they have regular monthly volunteers that show up to their cleanup events or things like that. Because of our size, those are also some things to consider. If you guys were to want to adopt a street, just think about what streets will be. We probably want to stay away from Texas roads or heavily trafficked roads where people can potentially get hit. or, run into any issues. We do provide people with assistance, so whenever they call me to Public Works, let me know that an irrigation is not working or that they need our crews to go out there and help them like move something heavy. We're always like, really not adamant, but we're trying to be available for people that adopt out these locations and are really engaged to help them out. But right now the system seems to work for most adoptees. Again, just things for you guys to consider if you want to in the future change more or expand upon this program.
Anybody have any other questions, concerns?
What is it, number 8? Because that's where the roundabout's going in. What's going to be there? Because that's the street, that's the construction area right now.
So number 8, that one is one that's currently adopted by
Oh, I'm just
the
curious what it
photography.
is.
Oh, what was that?
Because that's construction there right now, so I'm just curious
Yeah.
what it's going to be when the construction
So it's within the park right now. It hasn't been completely removed. They did remove some, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, bushes. They had to remove them because they were really dried out. We notified the adoptee. They are the photography studio just down the road. They've adopted it for a while. So they were made aware that the bushes were going to be removed, and they wanted to still continue the adoption. From my last conversation with them, they wanted to possibly plant more or just keep it simple and do flowers, but they are wishing to keep their adopted spot there.
Oh, I was just wondering what
despite
was
that.
going to be in that location since the construction right now.
Oh, as in future plans?
Yes.
To my understanding, after the roundabout's completed, staff was getting quotes for entryway signs for South and North Willow Creek Park. In the past, they asked me to bring the item forward to the board to see if the board would be interested in helping finance those entryway signs for North and South Willow Creek Park, so that they would read north and south side. But that's the last update I have, that they were just searching for quotes to see what the financial impact would be. And I'm not sure if they're going to pursue it after they get those quotes and reapproach the board once they're ready. But
Okay.
I think that those are the plans for now.
All right, thank you.
Anything else before we move on?
Nope.
No? All right, the next item is discussion regarding the potential programs and goals of the board.
Okay. We had mentioned a workshop on our last meeting. Of course, we would have to have a little bit more of a plan going into a workshop, but I thought to add a discussion item to maybe just start the conversation about possible future projects. We've already touched on this on our prior item regarding the mowing, but I'm not sure if there's anything that has come to mind to our board members that you would potentially see in a future workshop, or if going through the recent meetings, you've noticed any of the current programs that you would like to propose a change to or an idea for. Again, just kind of an open discussion for the board to start that conversation if we want to do a workshop in the future and establish long-term goals for the board, or short-term goals that we would like to achieve. As our vice chairman mentioned, we haven't had a public art improvement project this year. We did a lot on the prior fiscal year. There is the Keep Texas Beautiful Association that cities can become affiliates to. Most of the requirements involve having more initiatives geared towards environmental protection, recycling programs. So there's a lot of possibilities where the board can go or where a new initiative can start, if that's something that you wish. But with our current budget, public art is right now maybe something that we can look for in the near future.
So one
thing that I'm thinking is there are just not enough of us here today to really make that decision or to even talk about it, you know?
No, we've talked many times about trying to find another place for another art project, like the one on the building.
That's
The pretty Saginaw on the blue with that, we were looking for something, somewhere else to add something like that, but we haven't come up with anything. So, I mean, it's something just to kind of keep an eye out on, I think,
Yeah.
to see if there's anywhere we can do that, or, and then the city's come up regularly and said, hey, we have this idea. So, I guess we just look and see when that comes.
Just keep an eye out in your travels, if you see a place that could, you know, deserve some art in the future.
Well, I do want to bring up, maybe for you to discuss when we have more people, is something, the Highland Station sign went away, and I don't necessarily think that the board needs to put up a Highland Station sign, but there's that median there that would be a great place to, that would be a great welcome to Saginaw,
What?
because that's coming right in on Basswood, straight into Highland
I agree with
Station,
that. Be
right there
nice.
by Saginaw High School, because now that's become a very busy thoroughfare, but that's a main way into Saginaw now.
Well, it's the cut-through now.
Yes,
That's
it
the
is.
Haslett.
Yes, it is. So, but,
So, you know, like,
Some-
if, I was thinking like the Saginaw Library sign, a small one of those. That just says Saginaw on cement.
yeah, but
That's a,
something for future discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To see something,
I was
I mean,
thinking-
because it would be nice to put something there,
so.
and then that could maybe become an adopt-a-spot type thing too on that
and-
side.
And then they could do one up at Bass, at the beginning of Bailey Boswell too. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
you know,
so-
this is Saginaw, Fort Worth, or something else.
Yeah, so, maybe something along those lines in the future,
Yeah.
But
something to add to next discussion.
Yeah, like I said, we are down a lot of members, so just wanted to
Yeah.
have that discussion to start.
Yeah,
maybe
so,
just
on
keep
that
it on the agenda until you have enough people.
yeah. Discussion, next item is the discussion regarding the board booth at the 2025 Training Brain Festival. That was something we wanted to add to see if, in addition to the photo booth, if we wanted to.
Yeah, so in addition to sponsoring the booth, members were invited to attend and help share information of the board. I did want to give you guys the opportunity to decide or maybe confirm if one or all would be available to attend. I did want to let you know that to avoid quorum, no more than 2 members would be able to be present at one time, and we'll need to post a possibility of quorum to abide by Open Meetings Act. So when you're an advisory board or city council and you're invited to an event, we just have to post these for the risk of a walking quorum. Again, as a refresher, walking quorum, things like you guys can talk to each other when you see each other in the grocery store, right? We're all residents of the same city, but it's just things to be mindful when maybe like exiting the meeting from here or seeing yourself at a public city meeting and starting to discuss things of the board. You might not be doing that, but it's one of those things where like if you were to see city council at a public meeting, they're not in a city council meeting, but they're all in a group talking. There was a possible quorum notice posted for sure. And it's one of those things where you can't, as an outsider, know what they're discussing, but it's not, I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, it wouldn't abide by Open Meetings Act if you are an advisory board or elected official meeting as a quorum outside of a public meeting and discussing things. You might not be discussing things, again, that are respective to the city or the board, but no one would know that if they don't know that you're an appointed member or an elected member. But that's why we would need to post that notice of quorum. If you guys all want to be there, I'll post it. If maybe we just have one volunteer, then it wouldn't be an issue. I do understand that you guys are also busy with your job outside of your board duties. So if we wouldn't have members available to attend, I likely will be at the event, and we can provide an alternative setup, such as displaying a sign with the board's name on top of the photo booth and having a small table with the flyers for the October contest and things of that nature. But let me know, I'll let you guys discuss and arrange who can be there or is interested in participating. That way we can have tables and chairs for you guys, and I can print out material that you can hand out to people.
I don't know, I have to check my schedule and stuff, I don't know off the top of my head.
I can volunteer to do it.
I mean, I can probably be there for half of the day,
Yeah,
the first half of the day, so
you too.
I suppose you could send out an email to all of us and, you know,
See if
that
we
way
can-
check our schedules. and
see if we can fill up-
reply, or if there's time slots that aren't
Okay.
filled.
So I'll send
Like
out
if we
another
have
email,
a-
confirm from other members. If I don't hear anything back, I hear that you guys are only able to do the first part of the day, right?
yeah, I can do 10 to 1.
Okay,
You can do like, yeah, 1 to 4.
okay, okay, yeah.
Well-
So if I don't get an answer from everyone else, I'll reach out to you guys individually if you're still interested. Again, if anything comes up, please let me know a week in advance, if not more, so that I can have the alternative prepared.
Yeah, we can be the photographers for all the people at the, you know, they can give us their cameras and we can
Yeah,
take
'cause
all their
everyone wants
photos.
their phone, take her picture.
Yep, whatever, but yeah, I'm available from about 10 to 1, so. 10 to 1:30-ish. But if we can split it into 2 or 3 hour increments and everybody cover it, I think having somebody there to answer questions and hand out information would be great.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay?
All right. So our next item is the expenditure report.
So as of September 31st, our estimated available funds are predicted to be $155,000 with $12.34, accounting for an upcoming charge of 6 gift cards that were purchased for one for the month of August, 2 for September, and then the other 3 for October/holidays. The prior expenses were a gift card and the mowing cycle of the right-of-ways for Blue Mountain Saginaw Boulevard. So on the back, I've attached a list of the total of donations. As you can tell, most people end up donating more than the $2 amount set and do a bigger donation. And we've spent, out of our 2024 and 2025 budget, a total of $71,118 with 41 cents. Just a report for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions.
So the donation is now $2? Is that-
Yes, so it was formally increased to $2.
I don't know, it's automatic on my online, so I don't even see.
Yeah, I didn't either.
No questions. Do we have to motion to approve it, or is it just informational?
No, just a report for you guys to be aware of what we're spending.
Excellent. Does anybody else have any questions or thoughts on the budget and finances? Does anybody have any future agenda items they'd like to add for?
I
No?
think we already talked about what we wanted to add, so I think we're good.
Yeah, as we're going along. Okay, well, then if nobody has anybody else, does somebody want to make a motion to
I'll make a mo-
adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I second.
Okay. All right.
And then I'll just have you declare meeting adjourned
Okay,
at,
meeting adjourned at 6:59.
We're efficient.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Sticking through.